Imagine you got burst at one of these events and you got back it. Like, do you know what? I deserve that. I really, I've done a lot. I'm going to treat myself. And you wake up in the morning, the invoice is already through the door because they're like, we're not taking a gamble on this one. An invoice for 890 grand for a combine.
Got a mouthful of chocolate.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. Hello, welcome back.
Hello?
So I've got
Start that again. You can't.
Yeah, you can. You get that. You definitely have to keep that in there.
100%. Hello, and welcome back to the Farming Funny Podcast with the Ginger Ninja from Sanker, Sandy Patrick, and Big Jim the Potato Farmer from Dundee. How are you, gentlemen?
This is going to be like us when we're 80 years old. And we've
want
been
to actually
doing this for the last 50 years.
We're trying to acquire listeners, boys, not turn them away. Jesus.
Could you imagine we were sitting here in 50 years' time?
Oh, mate, we'd have to have a lot of subscribers to be sitting here in 50 years' time.
I know. God, tragic. Imagine like, and we've made it to 1,000 subscribers.
But we'd be sitting here bitching about our children going, aye, the wee dick's been out there buying easy care sheep.
There's an idea for a podcast. You should, all these podcasts, I was going to say young boys, but they're like, they're like us and younger. You should have like 3 70-plus-year-old farmers that are all retired just bitching about the younger generation.
It'd be good. It would be good. It would be brutal, but it'd be good.
To that.
You imagine in 50 years' time, these boys don't know they're living. They're getting £1,300 for a fat lamb. I was getting £170 back in the day, and it was hard. It was hard.
Pence and shillings, Jim. Pence and shillings.
Maybe we should get our dads on, and the three of them could do a podcast.
That'd be hard going.
Like. You ever watched Gold Rush? The Dutch boy Tony Beats, and it just beeps all the time. My old boy, like, fucking beep 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 beep. James beep 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 beep. Tatties beep 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 beep.
Oh dear. So we have. So you're going to be coming down to LAMMA then, Jim?
Grace
you coming down?
Grace it with my presence.
Are you driving, or are you going to be getting the old Birmingham International?
I'll probably just drive it, to be honest, because I like.
When is it? And where was my invite?
It's the 15th and 16th of January. Nick, you're more than welcome to come, of course. I
did assume invited, like Jim.
I've not been invited.
No. Jim told me he was coming. I've invited him.
No, basically, Sandy went on and saw that I'm giving a big speech to everybody down there about how you run equipment, and Sandy signed up to it and was like, "Oh, Jim, just to let you know, remember, I know you, so can you save me a seat at the front?"
Basically, that's what's going to happen. You'll have 450 machinery manufacturers in a hall listening to Jim telling them how to run their business. That's effectively what's going to happen.
Are you doing a speech?
No.
He wishes he was.
Nick, the reason I'm not doing a speech is because the hall's not big enough to hold everybody that wants to listen.
I had a look on the NEC website, Jim, and the Strictly Come Dancing live tours next door, so I'm sure you could jump in there for 10,000 folk, give them a chat about WD-40 and how to change a tire.
Crash course.
Did I tell you what the WD stands for? Any hands up with the bag?
Oh, I can't remember what the D is. What are
displacement?
Dispersal.
Displacement. That's it.
So you're going to come down and sorry, go on, Nick.
No, go on.
No, I was just saying that he's coming down. He's going to grace us with his presence. There's going to be, I see Case, I've got their new CX10 combine there. It's going to be, it's going to be on the go. There's a few other big releases coming down, so you can write the checkbook and head on back up the road with 500 horsepower in the back of a low loader, and you'll be good to go.
Hey, imagine you got burst at one of these events and you got back it. Like, do you know what? I deserve that. I really, I've done a lot. I'm going to treat myself. And you wake up in the morning, the invoice is already through the door because they're like, we're not taking a gamble on this one. An invoice for 890 grand for a combine. And then they phone you up and go, by the way, do you want the header as well? Well, I may as well because it won't fucking do anything without it. Oh, that's
I can imagine it could get quite. I can imagine it'll get dangerous when a lot of boys start on the drink and the boys there like, oh, I shouldn't, but I will. And the salesman's like, would you like any bells and whistles with that, sir? I may as well. Just go on. GPS, yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Honestly, are you sure, sir? Yeah, I am completely in my sane mind here. And just as you're driving back up the road, it starts to kick in as you're going over the Forth Road Bridge, and you're just peering over the edge of the bridge. You're like,
600 grand in the hole.
What's a harder one? Press dad on the Apple CarPlay or turn left over the edge of the bridge.
I can see that being you, Jim. I can see it now. A few whiskies. And he's up the road by a Fen 1167. That's him.
If you find a nice wee scraper tractor, Jim, if you can get it thrown in for free, that'd be grand.
Kubota over there, Nick. She come down.
You get these, what are they, taffies? Are they called taffies? These Indian, so a company, an Indian company bought the rights to building a Fergie 135, right?
Right.
And these taffy tractors, brand new, are like $7,000.
Really?
Brand new.
Wow.
Yeah,
and you get them over here.
$700. Our good friend Mr. Walker has them.
Taffy.
Taffy. Is it TEFE or TAFE? TAFE. And they literally look like a 135.
We used to have a 135.
Yeah, they bought the rights to the designs of them. And I mean, it might be $7,000, but they're no more than 8. Brand new.
But it's like that. There's a Chinese car company who started churning out cars for 1,200 quid, like brand new cars for 1,200. You know, they were just like as cheap as you get. I mean, cheap as chips, but just bang them out the door. Did amazingly well. Yeah.
I mean, I found one here, Jim. It's $9,500, but it looks older than my scrubber.
You're looking at the wrong thing, then, Nick.
It is TAFE.
Taffy. I think it's Taffy.
Oh, I found one. $8,000.
Yeah.
Get down to Gordon's. He'll sort you out with one, Nick.
Shit, this is real, Jim.
I know. It's serious stuff.
I'm just gonna wait. Oh, so it is. Look at that.
Walker told me the other day about it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, that's outrageous.
Fair play.
If you're using a cheap new tractor for like running scrapers and
how funny would it be if Dad got back from his holiday? I was like, Dad, your Christmas present's in
the shed. Even your dad would balk at that, Nick. He'd be like, there's no way. Do you know, that's amazing. But I bet you those boys, are they going to LAMMA?
Taffy? No, I don't think so.
No, when they're still trying to $8,000 or no.
No, but that's exactly. Well, no, but seriously, everybody balks at the price of new kit these days. And if your selling point was like, look, we've gone in low, very low, and okay, you're never going to be running a free. Jim's never going to be running one up with him, but scraper tractors, job done. Absolutely. If you're only spending like an hour a week in it, amazing.
But is that not what Kubota did, mate? Is that not why you like them?
Well, kind of Kubota, but I was going to say Coyote as well. They were more in landscape and kind of horticulture.
Is that the poor brother of Kubota?
No, we had a coyote for the scraper tractor. It only went in reverse.
That's like going to Turkey. The guy's like, "Do you want a Nike shirt?" And it's like, "I'll take 10 for a pound."
Tommy High Flyer. Tommy High Flyer.
High finger. Tommy High finger. I was going to say, do you know when, like, talking of going to shows and doing stupid stuff when you've got a few beers on you? I remember when I was back in my college days, I was at went to the winter fair. So we went in, I can't remember, about 10, 11 o'clock. No, was it usually on a Wednesday? We've been playing intramural rugby. Maybe we had, and then we flew into it afterwards. Can't really remember. Anyway, went in, and I was in first year, and I was pretty pally with the third years because I went traveling for a year, and some of them left school went a year earlier to college.
I was going to say,
we're roughly about the same age as you see. So anyway, I went in and I thought, first year, better prove myself. So just not long before we were meant to leave, I kind of made us all leave because they had the big 1,000 wide tires that they have on the big tankers, like your slurry tanker, the single axle ones. Well, I thought it'd be a great idea to screw the valve out of this center of the air valve.
Unbelievable.
Now, I never appreciated, not only would it have been like someone came in and was like, this is a nightmare because we've got to blow up, but because it was inside, the echo of the noise of the pressure of the air coming out, that instant, literally instant of regret. Like the minute it came out, the little valve came out of my hand, and then because I had a couple of drinks, I didn't have a full control of it, and the pressure of the air just whipped it away out the finger. So it's gone into the abyss, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And you know that way you can just feel everybody like dickhead. Do you know what I mean?
I've had that feeling a few times, mate.
Oh god!
So there's a big. I'm pretty sure there's a big slurry cat triple axle tank. You could do that too at LAMMA, Jim, if you're keen.
No.
So do you revise the kit that's going to shows before you go to them? Is that what you do in your spare time? No, Sandy. Yeah, that's Sandy. What I'm saying. You're like, I'm pretty sure there's one of these and one of these going.
I go around and talk a good game. You know that way, if you just pop your leg up on the side of a cultivator and look as if you know what you're talking about, and some boy's like, and as soon as the salesman comes along, you fuck off. Do you know?
Yeah.
I'll take a brochure. I'll never buy one. I'll take one.
They're not twigging on to you by now, Sandy.
Surely must be
big thing on social media, getting.
Surely must be.
Has anybody actually ever stopped and asked you for an autograph or a photo?
I've seen it happen. We were at the Highland show, and there was 3 13-year-old boys that came running up and asked them for a photo. Pretty cringe, but.
And that was a bit of an eye opener for me. That was a bit like.
Was that not the audience you were going for? Was it the babes?
Well, I look like Jimmy Savile.
Just with a cigar. That was the eye opener for me in terms of social media. I was like, after going to the Highland show and doing that show season last year, I was a bit like, what? It sort of just resonated. I was like, what am I doing on social media?
Mr.
What? Well, no, not even that. I was like, do I want to be the guy that's like, oh yeah, you're on TikTok getting stalked by 15-year-old lads? And I'm like, no,
yes,
no, it's really not
of my life.
And I was a bit like, yeah, this, I was like, nah, fuck it, that's not me. So I had to, go and do something else.
You fucking loved it, Sandy. Don't even lie. Like the smile
on
your face.
How we doing?
Simmer down. He's still bitter that he lost the quiz. That's his trouble. Oh dear. So, Jim, you mentioned it on podcast last year that farming is a bit repetitive or can be repetitive. Do either of you set any sort of, not necessarily New Year's resolutions, but do you like to do anything different, or do you do anything at this time of the year that you try and change stuff up, or do you just sort of knuckle down on what you're doing and crack on?
It's a difficult one for in the the sector we're in with potatoes and stuff like that, because the ball's always rolling. Like it's with all parts of agriculture, the ball's always rolling to do, but because you're so deep in trying to organize what you've got going on, trying to find time to generally look at other things to do is quite difficult. The biggest hamstring I find to agriculture, to doing something different, it's like it's cash flow. It's like it's one of the you can do little things and change things and whatnot, but it's so difficult to change your mantra in the course of a season. I think you need 5 to 10 years to completely change if you wanted to change something big. And I mean, I don't know. I think I don't know. I get
I think you're, Jim. I think you're so right. I think time and cash flow are the two big things. I think, with the Easy Care sheep, the only way I had the chance to do that is because Dad was running the business at the time when I started it, and I think that's the only reason I had time to do it. So I agree, Jim.
So you basically, you came into business but please do not take this in the wrong way.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily needing you home because of the workload.
Yeah.
So you kind of came back and was an extra pair of hands of what they already had, which they were maybe coping with. So it gave you time to genuinely actually look at something.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, they obviously needed to make some class, but
obviously. But I think that's what a lot of people outside the industry or people or other businesses don't necessarily have to deal with is the cycle of farming and the length of cycle. And I sort of got a bit of an eye opener when I was up at your bit, Jim, and you were saying that you plant that field of potatoes once every 7 years, and you've got 7 years worth of rotations in the middle. So you can't just rock up one day and bung in another load of potatoes. You've got to have a rotation, cover break crops and all the rest of it. And it's that cycle. And as you say, you can't get out of that within a season or within 6 months. It's a long-term project, as you say, probably a minimum of 5 years.
Yeah, because one of the issues is in our part of the world, you get one crack at the whip. If you say you plant the potatoes and the conditions are slightly bad, or they're a bit too dry, or the season things go and the crop doesn't come out the ground quite like you expect it, you've got to jot all that down and remember, maybe it was the variety that you put in that field, maybe was the reason it didn't work. You've got to remember that come 7 years' time and remember, did that work quite well in there? Did it not? It was what did we do again? Did we put calcium down? Did we not put calcium down? Did we not put enough phosphate, or did we put too much phosphate? And it's it's such a slow moving, even though things move fast, the lambings and the harvests. It's such a slow moving industry. It's not like you've got a production line of McVitie's biscuits and something's just not quite right. You just tweak it there and then, and bang, it just keeps going. And you can change it. Oh, right, that's it. Tastes great. After 2 weeks, you've got it nailed.
Yeah.
Us, one crack and a whip, and if you ruin it, that's it.
I must say, I don't envy you in that respect, because I mean, we put rape in this summer and it failed pretty well. I mean, we got a little bit of rape, but it kind of failed. And one of the fields of the spring barley we did last year, it was really thin, and it's I know we don't do it to anything like the level and numbers and strategy that you guys do, but as you say, you get one crack, and I mean, what you get out of it, you get out of it. At least with livestock, if they're looking a wee bit, if they're losing a bit of condition or they need a warmer, you can do something about it there and there. It's a kind of constant cycle. But as I say, with you guys, I do sympathise with that.
But there is an element of that with livestock, though, Nick, in the fact that, if you're running pedigree herds or even dairy cows, you want to try and breed out things like bad feet or, lameness, mastitis isn't necessarily hereditary, but a lot of those, you spend a good number of seasons, a good number of cycles. You can spend 5, 8, 10 years building up a herd that you're happy with and that is working well for you. Maybe not to the same extent of cereals and spuds, but
if you've got a lame cow, if you've got a lame cow, you can get the vet out or a foot doctor out to.
Oh, that is true. Yeah,
with jums, potatoes, or cereals, whatever. Once they're in the ground, if they didn't go right, they didn't go right.
Yeah. There's a skill to it.
There's a skill to absolutely every industry in the UK. Do you know what I mean? And it's. I'm not going to sit here and bleat that. All of a sudden, potato farming is the hardest thing to do. There's so many things out there that every businessman takes risks, and whether you make a pencil, you have a pencil factory, or whether you breed livestock or plant potatoes, it's just how to mitigate it. It's easy when anyone can do it when it's a good year and everything's going in your favor and the prices are good. Anyone can do it. The key to being a successful farmer is knowing how to value or market your poorer products at the highest possible money so that you don't lose on those.
Yeah.
That to me is the key. Your maybe your field of potatoes that's got scab. Don't just give them away for 60 quid a ton. Find avenues to that add value so you're not losing money on that field. You might not make money, but you're getting out of jail. So as we spoke before, the numbers are huge per acre and you could lose a fortune. So it's all about mitigating that. And it's the same with your livestock. It's like on a bad year, it's maximizing the efficiencies to try and stay above the rest, be in that top 10%.
Yeah.
So that if it does go wrong, you're one of the last ones to suffer. Because when it does then go right, when it does go right, you're there for you're there to get the cream.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Because you'll be what, 6-8 weeks off lambing, Nick?
Oh, fuck off! Don't even talk about it. I mean, our first lamb last year dropped on the 5th of March. So it's literally February. It's 2 months away. Do
you want to know something? It's amazing how the space of 2 weeks over Christmas can completely change your mindset. Like 2 days before you come off for Christmas holidays, you're like, oh, it's ages till next. It's ages until we start. It's December. You come back to work, you're like, oh, fuck, right, okay. We're planting tatties maybe in like three and a bit months. Right, okay, we could be sowing. Right, oh my god, we've got a lot to do. Why was I so fucking
You think, it's next year. It's next year.
In December, we totally took our foot off the pedal, and by the end of it, we were just making sure everyone was fed and bedded and alive, and the weather was wet, and it wasn't cold. It was really fine. Fucking 4th of January, no water, frozen, lambing in 4 weeks, feeding everything because they've got no grass. It just literally went from, this is lovely, Christmas coming out lovely, to fuck my life.
I know. In 2 weeks, it literally just flips.
Yeah.
I have never met somebody in December or late November, December that is full on going for 2020. I've never met it's been everybody talks about last season and we keep talking about it last season. Oh yeah, we've got everything finished up. Yeah, mate, it's the 10th of December. You finished at the start of October. Yeah, but we got tidied up and all that sort of stuff. And then come January, it's like dad's down my throat, have you done this? Have you done that? Have you done this? I'm like, and I'm like,
But that's that is the nice thing about Christmas, and the fact that everybody is off. Or virtually everybody's off. I say everybody's off, but everyone takes...
What fucking world do you live in? Who feeds the cows?
Sorry, not off. Sorry, that was the wrong turn of phrase. Off, it wasn't the right thing because dairymen work every day. But everybody chills. Do you not just bung in double the silage on Christmas Eve, Nick, and hope they'll be there on Boxing Day?
I'd love to do that, Sonny. I'll maybe try that. But no, we don't.
But everyone chills and everyone takes a breather. And
you go out in the morning, you get them fed, and then it's like you don't need to be there till 5-6 o'clock at night. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally. Yeah, I mean, like we're finished by 10 o'clock on Christmas Day. Like it's just feeding what needs to be fed, and then inside 10 pints, sleep, Christmas dinner, done.
We got ourselves a bale spreader for the front of the loader, for the front of the telehandler. Absolute winner.
Is it? I've been trying to tell. I've got family that have got livestock, and they've got a bed out. And
is it a square one?
Is it a hustler?
It'll do square all round. It'll do anything. This
is it the big long one?
Aye, you got it. It got it from Gordon's. It's a big long thing with a belt on it. It's got big spinners at the front. You can put it out either side.
How much was it roughly? Give me an idea. You don't need to tell me how much you did spend. Are we talking 10 grand or 50?
50? No, it was a. Did you say 50 or 15?
15. I said 50.
It's 15. It's in the right. I think it was about 15 or 6. 15 and a half, I think it was.
You wouldn't get a trail pump for that.
No, I really want one.
No.
I think it's a really good idea.
Is that the one where you can keep the spike attachment goes into the frame of it, so you drop it on the ground, you pull out, the spikes are still there, so you then just pick your bale up, drop it in it, and you don't need to take anything off. You just literally then put it in.
Scoop.
Yeah, there's a
no. It's got a thing at the front. No, so you put it on. You put it on the
telehandler.
You put it on the telehandler, and you plug it into hydraulics, and you basically set your bales out on the ground. So if you set it,
can you pick it up once it's on?
Yeah. So the thing's a big door at the front lifts up. So the blade lifts up, and you scoop this bale up. This thing comes down, and then it's on the conveyor, and it just goes and it batters it out either side. But the amount of time that you save.
Do you take your netting off, or do you just cut them off the rotors at the end?
Always take them off.
Oh, you're a fucking contractor's nightmare for spreading done, aren't you?
Always.
So what do you put it in and then take the ropes off?
No. So you set them on the ground. You cut the netting off it.
No, there's no netting on a square bale. On a square bale.
No, sorry, I'm talking about a round bale.
Oh, right.
But, you can. Strings on a square bale or netting on a round. Yeah, but it's cracking. It's great.
Definitely leaves it on, Jim, and just lets it go through 100%.
Honestly, I've seen them, and I'm like, I keep saying to my in-law relatives, I'm like, you guys need to get one of these things because they just look like so much better.
Yeah, I must say the wind farm must be doing well. Every time we speak to you, Sandy, you've either got a new gator or you've got a new bedder or a new tractor.
He's sitting in the chalet at the moment. Look out his window. He's just about to go jump on the pasty basher.
I'll just take a wee. No, that's my front door. That's the fastest in Scotland, Jim.
That's Scotland.
I'm going to lick the sheep with it. Like
you're ready to bring the sheep in. Maybe your costs are a bit higher than I thought.
I've got a good road out the hill, so I'll just take that with me and
you've got a good road out the hill. You've got 100,000 acres to decide. Right, I can go anywhere.
I can take that thing in the back just to level out the peat hags in the top. Get them all sorted. I tell you. But no, it's a great thing. It saves a hell of a lot of time, and it's I'd recommend it, Jim.
Yeah,
both of you actually. How do they put it out? Do they roll it out by hand at the minute?
Yeah,
no, they've got a bit.
Oh, sorry.
I know they've got a bedder that you pull behind on the tractor. So you do the tractor tied up, and then you go and take a couple of bales, put them in, throw up the back door, put the back door down, jump back in the loader, put another bale in, throw it up. and then you've got to, you're working because you're not got a varial. You're never going to have like a varial tractor on one of these at the moment because you've got an old like 10 series on, so you're always trying to find the right gear, and then the thing's barking at you. You can't see how much is left in it, and you're fucking spouting, and it chokes, and you've got to take oh Christ, honestly. So
we do it all by hand. We roll them all out by hand, and we also throw a baleless, like a big square bale, throw all the leaves off one by one every day to feed the cows as well.
And then you go out in the hill and try and catch haggis in your kilt after that.
I'm telling you, we do generally do bed everything
I know.
by hand.
I know. I used to when we had the stove, when we had coats at home. I used to have to do that, but the guy who drove the baler would never stop, even if it was raining. So I always got the bales that like your fingernails were like, it was like cardboard pulling it off. Oh Christ, I don't miss it, I tell you.
I say that, Nick, you're right. For the past 40 odd years, we've done it by hand as well. So, but it's one of these things, like as soon as you go to it, it's like, how did I ever do that by hand? Because now all you need to do, you change the system so you get big open pens, but it's just a case of running up each side with a feeder, and then every other day loading a couple of bales into that and banging it in the shed. It does. It's super easy.
Word of, not advice, I'm not giving out advice, but word of from what experience I've had. So when I bedded my bull beef at me for a couple of years, they were so placid because I was through them every day.
100%.
And then the sucklers were at my uncle's, and he had a bedder, and so we bedded them, and so we only really went in them once they started calving, and I tell you, it heightens their wildness because it's the first interaction they've got in their close surroundings with a human, and you're going after their child, effectively.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. Like even during the summer, when the cows and calves are outside, we all got off the bikes and walked around them to count them, just so that they're having that human interaction. Because if you don't do it all summer, and then you come to dehorn them and castrate them, big fucking 250 kilo Charlie calves are wild, man.
So the best thing to do is bed them, but just walk through with a grape and just flick some straw about. Just
we've got loads of time just to walk around with grapes and flick straw.
Well, you would. If
I can imagine your dad, Nick. I can imagine Nick's dad when he's floating about in the pen with a grape. Oh, I'm just spreading it out, Dad. Get on with the fucking jobs.
The proof's in the pudding with dairy cow.
Yeah, absolutely, totally.
Look how placid they are. They're just literally whatever.
But even the calves I've got from the dairy farm, like compare them to the Charlie calves I've got down at the other farm. Like I can walk in amongst these and they come up and give you a lick and walk around you. See the Charlie calves, I'll be at one end of the shed, they're at the other. Like it's just completely different. They're fucking bellowing at me. Yeah, completely.
Same with Blackie Yows as well. If you end up not going to see them for about a month,
fuck Blackie
Yows. To be fair, Nick, Sandy's standing in a pen with Blackie Yows like you and I standing in a pen with a Belgian blue bull.
What is it?
What is that?
It's a bad state of affairs when you're at eye level with a Blackie tip.
You're looking straight at you. Sandy's running out the pens like that scene on Team America. Daka.
Sandy's trying desperately not to bite back, saying how much of a Blackie legend he is.
That's why he now lives in Windsor behind a keyboard.
And on that skittery wet hole, gentlemen, I am going to love you and leave you. For as fun as that conversation was, Jim, we're going to tie it up and we will see you both next week.
Ciao.
Peace, brothers.
Take care, boys.
Thanks, mate.
Bye.
Bye-bye.